But
secretary line.
reading his email, he says it's not clear to me whether the commission has the final number, or if they're going to adopt an additional policy that may affect that number. So I think he's thinking he's gonna get possible outside county attorney. I think that's what he put in his, 352 line item. He put
Right.
25,000 for that.
And that we just pulled out
So we
and
just pulled
reduced to
out,
5
yeah.
to pay for the secretary.
Mhm.
So, and his COLA's only $800, right?
Well, by the time you add the employer fees, I mean, if you go his wages plus the other fees the county pays, the
Oh,
work comp, unemployment,
sure,
retirement, it totals 15.
okay. All right, yeah, unless you guys have an idea, I
So
suggest
if
asking
we
him.
put this 20 into this legal fund, is that money also accessible to him?
Absolutely, again, through us.
Okay.
But yeah, anybody can use it, but it's just like a contract. Nobody can sign a contract without it coming through the
Okay.
commissioners. I wish Corey had been at the training yesterday. We brought Harold Blatty in to try and help him understand county budgeting. He knows state budgeting from his work there, not as a department head necessarily, or someone who built the budgets, but as somebody who had to live with one. Now that he's a department head with the county, it's totally different. And the ideas of the state do not necessarily jive to the county. The two are totally separate. It's just like Harold said yesterday, it's not your home checkbook.
Yeah.
It's totally different. And we had Harold come in to try and help Corey understand. That training yesterday I thought was excellent, especially Mike's portion, and it would have helped him, I think, understand how he is part of a unit, not a standalone. So, again, if it's okay with you, I'd suggest just ask him where he wants that
Let
put.
him know.
Okay. And then we'll just, hold off on the GIS and the library. Anything else, Debbie, that we need to address that we haven't?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I've got a list started somewhere.
When do you think we can do the amendments?
Oh goodness, with everything else, probably not till the end of the month, or maybe even, like I say, I'm trying to get quarterly reports done for the work comp and employment.
Here's the thing, we get our
Gotta watch.
evaluations the 7th, right?
Yeah.
So then we have, hopefully we don't need the whole month, because it might cause us to lose our opportunity for the, if
Got it
you
started.
got the ad, the legal ad done on the 17th, we could have the hearing on the 31st. Would that be too quick, or is that doable, you think? And I know you'll be gone the 17th, 18th, 19th, but to just put in the legal
I can
ad,
have that done in Friday before I go.
sure. Would come out the 20th and the 27th.
See, the first Tuesday, the 7th.
First Tuesday is the 8th, or I'm sorry, yeah, the first Tuesday after the first Monday, right?
Yep.
That's the 8th, I was
the
wrong,
8th. Oh, okay.
yeah.
It was one of those days right in there. We were talking about that yesterday.
It's the first
Right.
Thursday after the first Tuesday, is it not?
Is it first
Valuations
Thursday?
come out the first Tuesday
After the first Monday.
after the first Monday in August.
Don't ask me why.
I don't know why they have to put that language in there, just put the first Tuesday of the month and then be done, but,
Well, it was confusing enough in elections, they probably figured it worked here too.
yeah.
Or maybe it was the other way around, I don't know.
Yeah, that will probably work, cause it'll give a week leeway in case there's something that needs changed at the last minute as we do our hearing, or a comment if something's made and they have to go redo something. it gives a little time to get it adopted before we get valuations.
Would you,
Worst case scenario.
would you rather wait until, the next Monday? So have the hearing, instead of on the 31st, on the 7th of August? And then we would be advertising, the Monday would be the 24th and the 31st. That be better for you?
Yeah.
You wanna shoot for that then, doing the 7th of August?
Yeah,
Okay,
because then we can have all that done as much as possible, so then I can focus on, between getting all these little changes as much as possible and get the amendments done. There's not too many, just need to, I started them, but it just takes a little time to get it finished and in a document to vote and,
sure. And then what we can do, that'll be a busy week, but that's okay, we could meet on the 9th after getting valuations and be able to solidify a lot of these things that are kind of pending.
because if I can get all those, because I can get a lot of that done in the forms and replug some of that information and get the tax levy requirement sheet done, that'll be the true picture of where we're sitting.
Okay,
Because it'll show our percentages and everything over, under, kind of like, oh, like what they said. Your reserves, it'll show our reserves, if we're over or under, and what little funds, if we need to tweak, we got work.
okay. So one last question then for you. Solid waste. Do you think you and Doug could get together and put together, where we're at?
Well, we kind of had this already done in January, working with Jonathan, working with Brian. We went through the reports and everything and kind of showed why his values are down. Jonathan said, Doug, these are the entries you need to do. And Doug went and finished fixing those entries and we haven't heard a word. But reports are showing negative. But like Jonathan explained, somehow the way, because he's a different, he doesn't use the same accrual system the rest of us do, it shows up in Black Mountain different. That's why the interface is kind of important. But I won't know. So I have most all that work done. We've got us fixed as far as we know with Black Mountain and Doug and Denning and Downing. So now it's just kind of getting those final numbers in. And I brought all that down. A lot of what we said we went in history, he's got some big purchases with his skidster, loader, depreciation because he had new equipment, which he didn't have a lot before because it had already been off the books. That's affected his budget,
Okay,
a lot of it.
those are one times, so this is
More or less,
something
there'll
that's-
be some more depreciation from the new equipment because it goes so many years and then it's done depreciating.
Okay,
So, not something, we've given him information to work on, he needs to work with Denning and Downing, Jonathan, to help him sort through that. But I don't know where he's at with it. I haven't talked with him, I don't know if Jonathan and Brian have talked.
does Jonathan need to work with Brian then? Is that what you're saying?
I suggested it to him, so he's getting it straight from Jonathan, because when Jonathan was here, he seemed to get Jonathan's lingo
Okay,
and what Jonathan's explanation was versus Doug and I.
so at this point for solid waste, we're just waiting for, reconciliation.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm,
all right,
because in the past, when it shows there was big text and Doug got an interface, all the negatives went away.
okay,
So I'm hoping that it's that way again, with the way this fund is set up.
okay,
I'm not positive.
okay.
Like yesterday, they said, you can't expect all your revenue, then what?
If you guys have looked at Black Mountain, there's a couple of negatives in the caches. So it's got me a little nervous, but
Mhm.
after hearing you, Debbie, the money is probably there from taxes, it just isn't showing up reconciled yet.
Because like, when I looked, for example, I was watching the permissives, making sure between which two funds we needed to use to pay for our bill. And both of them show a large amount of revenues yet to come in, which doesn't make sense. Other than there's nothing in June as far as revenue and interfacing. And I know Doug's trying to balance, so hoping that's the majority of the problem or concerns.
Okay,
But we won't know till we see it.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I know, it's just, it's putting together a puzzle and we
Mhm.
just have,
Well, and I like
couple of
concrete
pieces.
numbers for sures, and a lot of what we're kind of doing right now is guesses, the
Sure.
unknowns. And I don't like those very well. So I try not to let it get to me,
sure,
because it usually in the end works out.
yeah. Yeah,
But yeah, it is nerve-wracking.
all right.
Keep
Anything
watching
else
it,
we
Michelle,
should
I
be?
keep watching it. We check it every day, just to hope. It's kind of that borrow concept, which they said, you know, they don't like, but some of us, what do you do? I don't know what to do that, but just those areas we gotta keep working on. Be aware of and keep working on, keep an eye on.
All right, anything we should be addressing today that we can?
Something I did wanna mention, now that you say something, when Nationwide was here, that additional option for retirement outside of our standard and para contributions, it's all our own.
Yes.
They do have an option now that allows contributions to go through a 501 Roth or Roth IRA, which is after-tax investment. So they're gonna send me a form that needs to get our approval to allow that investing option. Didn't used to have it, so it's something fairly new. I just happened to ask because I wanted to do that. And that's when he told me, yeah, we got something new, so as soon as I get that document, I'll send that down.
Okay, all right,
I-
cool,
I think it needs a commissioner approval. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know. He didn't say.
okay,
He was he was a little nervous his first time here. He's kind of a quiet guy, so. But that was one of the changes that I thought might be good for employees who want to put towards retirement but don't want the pre-tax. I'm liking the idea, you know, you diversify is the idea.
right,
So it takes some of your contributions and redistributes them. And we did get two more people added to that now, so I'm deducting for 5 instead of 3.
nice,
So it
excellent,
makes it a little more worthwhile
yeah.
to run through payroll for 5 instead of 3.
So, not to change the subject, but looking back at the commission budget and the fact that we're 12,000 down, we'll be increasing, one line item that we already talked about. The contracted services, 398, we only, budgeted last year 5,000 and we spent 19,700, and I know that was for all the different grievances, and I'm just wondering if we shouldn't put in an extra 4, take that up to 9, so that we have the money there should we need it.
Well, I know looking back in the prior actuals, 11, 11, 19, 19, so another 4 is closer.
It's still extremely cautious, well, not even cautious. Not close to what our actuals are showing, but,
Optimistically conservative.
right? Yeah,
I hope we don't have to use it.
yeah. So is that good with you guys?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay. And then that'll give you the 10,000 that you're just sitting on at this point.
And did we decide on an amount for the travel? We've already got the same as last year.
Right, you know, I suggested 4, but it really should be a little bit more than that, because that's really just accommodating one commissioner. You know, there's 2 of us also, or there's 3 of us total, so maybe that should go up to 5. Anything else, Debbie?
No, because we're gonna take the 20,000 from Corey's professional and put it into yours. And I can make a 352 separate from the 350 if you want.
I think as long as you keep the, little description down there, that'll be just fine. I don't think we need any more objects when they're so close.
Sometimes too much detail can be
Right,
more confusing and make more problems than it solves.
right, yeah,
I know that, detail, and that's where it's kind of up to, I think some of it was too detailed, but for reporting purposes, which we need,
exactly.
comes in handy. That's where the
Yeah.
projects are really tough, because a lot of people forget their project codes. And if I'm not watching, or Michelle, and we don't catch it,
Yeah,
that's where it gets kind of hard trying to pull those reports, for them to file their reports, but
yeah,
trying to that's another thing, trying to make sure is covered 10 times over this
Yeah.
year, just because there's so much. Now, they did increase the threshold on the audits for the federal, so we might not reach it this year either,
good.
because they increased that threshold, so.
All right,
It'll be
cross
kinda
our
nice if we
fingers.
don't have to, it's a lot of work. But with the Deep Creek project and stuff, we very well could, if they get going on it this summer,
Yeah.
or before it's over.
So Mike or Franklin, anything, any input, any ideas, any debate, any discussion?
The funds that we put into, extension for heat for the ambulance building,
Mm-hmm.
that's budgeted for like 11 and it cost us 6, so where does that excess 5 go? Does that go back? Is that money that's budgeted into that, is that just heating or is that also for heating and cleaning and maintenance?
It was just the utilities, so propane and electricity.
So does that 5 revert back then, or where does it go?
It just stays in the general fund,
It
if you
just
don't, or
stays in-
not in the general fund, you're pilt if you don't use it.
Oh, okay, so that money just comes out of pill
Mhm.
when we need to make a payment on it?
Except
Okay.
you're taking out of account the city fees.
Yes,
Sewer and
yeah.
water, that's paid, that 11,000, it's, the,
Yeah,
I'm not-
1,000 of that
yeah,
is for the city water sewage.
so did we
Alright.
budget, we don't budget that, we just pull that?
That's part of all that 11,000, so
Okay.
though I think the total was.
Because that's gonna go up.
mm-hmm,
City fees have gone up like $50 a month or something,
and propane is going up,
and propane,
and
yeah.
electric,
um,
so, yeah, the 11,000 came from actual bills.
Actual cost,
Heating
that's what
bills,
the bill
city
is for
bills.
that month, so
mhm.
Yeah,
if that's what we're putting into that, then we probably ought to increase that a little bit. Even though we don't budget, but we still need to be aware that that's gonna go up that much.
yeah, you're right, we should put more in there. You think 2,000 more?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay,
So, in electric, make it 13, and make water sewer, well, 15 a month times 12, that's another 100, so just 1,100.
it's 11,000 now, so up it to 13,000?
And if the water
Total?
sewer,
Oh, I don't remember what that is.
I don't
By
know
itself.
if that water sewer garbage, I don't know if they're going
the
to,
hospital brings it over when they get the
they were
bill.
talking about raising garbage because they gotta buy a new truck. So Mike would probably get hit with that too.
We're going up at $15 a month.
That's what it went up already, I don't know what they're gonna do with that truck, cause it went up 50 for sewer.
So 100, almost $200.
And did Northwest Energy got a rate increase on their propane,
They
right?
sure did,
Mhm.
yep. Well, would you call Diana?
Yeah, I'm
to,
gonna have to, because she hasn't emailed me back.
um,
Usually she just sends me an email and says, here's the numbers, and she hasn't done it, so I don't know what's going on.
I'm guessing this is an opportunity maybe to offer a little help
Mhm.
too. Just, they miss those meals. Might be an opportunity to help. that not to happen.
When does city meet usually?
Well, she needs to schedule it ASAP,
Yeah, so it's possible they've already met and she's, okay.
right?
They met last night, I believe. Yeah, I think so. They meet the first and third Tuesday of the month, on Tuesday. Yeah, first and third Tuesdays.
Okay. And maybe she was waiting,
Yeah,
so I'll give her a jingle.
I know they've had at least one budget meeting, but I don't know.
So she knows I'm out there.
Right, yeah,
When
if
they're
you,
avoiding me, it's because they don't know what to tell me.
if you could reach out to her, I think that would be a huge help to her. Well, anything else, Chairman?
This will be adjourned at 2:21.
Thanks, Debbie.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
I haven't begun working on the capital improvement program